Declutter your mind with us. Today, we're diving deep into something that, well, it seems really simple on the surface, but it holds this quiet power. We're talking about intentional choices.
Mm,
And for this deep dive, we're digging into insights from The Quiet Power of Intentional Choices by the author from Unmashed.
right.
The whole idea is exploring how even really small, deliberate decisions, the tiny ones, can reshape things and maybe, just maybe, help us live with less regret.
It's a really interesting angle, isn't it? Because usually we think intentional means like huge life stuff.
Exactly. Applying for a job, choosing a school.
Yeah, those big forks in the road.
Yeah.
But the author flips that. They argue the real power is in the everyday, the small stuff.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Because they push back against focusing only on those big, heavy decisions. And they give this example, cleaning your phone screen. How can that be profound? Seems so mundane.
Well, that's precisely the point, I think. The insight isn't about how big the action is. It's about the why, the conscious reason behind it. So are you cleaning your screen just mindlessly? Or are you doing it because, you value hygiene? Or maybe you need a clear view for work.
Ah, okay. So it's the reason.
Yes, that connection to what you value, hygiene, clarity, whatever it is, that's the shift. It turns something you might just do on autopilot into a deliberate little act. Maybe self-care, maybe efficiency.
Got it. Connecting these tiny actions to our bigger values. And this leads to something else the author brings up, which sounds, well, almost too easy. How this can make regret fade away.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is that connection the author makes. Tiny choices, less regret. When you act based on what you really believe in, when your choices line up with your values, you're building this sort of internal consistency.
Internal consistency. I like that.
Right. So even if the outcome isn't what you hoped for, you haven't really failed yourself, have you? You acted based on your why.
Okay, so you learn something instead of just feeling bad.
Exactly. It neutralizes the sting of regret. It turns like missteps into data points, not these big emotional burdens. It's about being true to that why.
I see. So it's less about judging the result and more about the integrity of making the choice in the first place. That idea of being deliberate. It reminds me of when the author talks about artists, saying intentionality is the very thing that sets us apart from others. What does that really mean for us, if we're not artists?
Oh, it's such a great analogy, and it definitely goes beyond just painting or music.
Mhm.
Think about artists known for a really unique style. That didn't just happen, right? It comes from them being incredibly intentional
Mm.
about what they like, what matters to them, their message.
And how they show up in their work.
Precisely. And for us, in our lives, intentionality lets us develop our own, you could say, style of living.
Mhm.
When we consciously choose how we react to something,
Mhm.
or how we use our time, or even like how we arrange our desk,
Mm.
we're not just reacting, we're actively expressing who we are, what we stand for. It's like leaving our own unique fingerprint.
That makes a lot of sense. Designing life instead of just letting it happen. The author also gets personal, talking about their own commitment to working on this, to being more aware of my choices and their ripple effect.
Yeah, if we connect that to the bigger picture, it shows intentionality isn't just a destination. It's like an ongoing practice.
Continuous learning.
Right. Self-awareness, growth.
Hmm.
Every small choice you make based on your values sends out these ripples. Think about deciding to really listen to someone instead of just waiting to talk. If your why is connection.
That small act could change the whole conversation.
Totally. It can make a bond stronger, make things more meaningful. These quiet choices, they add up. They build momentum toward a life that feels more aligned, more you.
Increasing self-awareness step by step. So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
I think it means that the power to really shape your life, to declutter your mind, isn't hiding in some huge future event. It's right here, in the quiet, consistent, intentional choices you make every single day.
Exactly. Intentionality, even in the smallest things, is this powerful way to align with yourself and yet to genuinely reduce regret.
So the question to leave you with is,
Yeah.
what tiny, intentional choice will you make today? And what ripple, what effect might that create in your world?